Hey everyone, I kind of wanted to get this video out yesterday because it is a new ban list. Well, technically it is. And just kind of want to talk about how mid / below average / not good this ban list is. But first, we're going to go through the list quickly and then talk about what I think about it. Right. So first off is that, V Premium no changes. These changes are all effective from August 25, by the way. So in just under 2 weeks. Standard has changes for Chronojet, so you see the GG and Solar banned pretty much, and then the for Ava as well, we have the Ava and Combine Rusher changes, very similar, well pretty much exactly the same as the changes. Actually, we don't have Ebisu, so pretty much the same as like an old Busher ban list for Chronojet and Ava when they were meta. And then next we have is a premium changes, and these are basically all the premium changes that they wanted to do for History Collection, but just didn't do because History Collection didn't come out yet back then. We have the new Batama Koshigarasu change, restriction, full Bronto restriction. We also have a Karinus restriction, which is like, why? Right? Why? So we actually have two decent changes. First was the unrestriction of Harry and Nightmare Doll Alice. This was pretty much a mistake back then, I think. It just didn't do anything. And then lastly was the premium Enterana change to 1. So restricted to 1 and basically kind of nerfs Gear Chronicle in a nutshell, right? So let's kind of start from the beginning. Why is this ban list bad? Well, first off, let's look at when this ban list is released. So we are in, this is like August 11, right? The original ban list that was revealed was first revealed was in like June 13. So we waited nearly 2 months to get this ban list, right? And why does it take that long? Even the Y Schwartz ban list was released earlier than this, and the Weiss one, like, normally our ban lists are released at the same time, but no one wants to wait 2 months for pretty much a copy and paste ban list, right? There's not much to say about it. And like, what are we gonna do? In a month, in September, there's gonna be another product stream. There's gonna be another ban list announced, right? Whether there's gonna be changes or not. But, does that mean we're gonna see those changes and we probably have to wait another 2 months for those changes? I think that's just very, very poor form. We have BCS coming up. People need to test, right? At this point, why? Like, with BCS, the first BCS should be in there's a BRO coming up too, right? So this is legal before BRO. You don't have like 2 months, 2 months, right? To add this ban list and have barely 2 weeks to test or anything. Of course, the standard, right? Standard is, these changes basically don't do much for standard, but we have BCS coming up in September as well, so 3 weeks, and it's poor, right? It's not good. It's very lackluster. And the other thing also is that if you the whole point of having an English separate ban list is that it is for the English format, right? English and Japanese is supposed to have different metas. So this is the English ban list is supposed to be more catered for the English side of the game, which basically means premium, but you see this standard ban list and you wonder to yourself, okay, why are we getting these changes now when these decks aren't even that good anymore, right? What is the best decks in the format right now? It is Ballista and Gandiva. Those are the clear, decks that are just better than anything else. But, follow that, maybe it's Chronojet, maybe it's Ava, right? Ava now has a bad matchup with Ballista there. And then Gigi has Chronojet has a bad matchup with Ballista and Gandiva out. So these decks basically didn't need any hits and they still got hits. So I don't know, if you're gonna import these ban lists or at least create ban lists, at least double check that these are relevant for the current format, right? So let's kind of this is going to be more apparent when we go to some of the premium ones, right? So first off, let's look at this Karinus, right? So the gold paladin here. Well, apparently, you can't really do this combo in English anyway. So what's the point of hitting it? Yeah, what is the point? There is 0 point in hitting this. And then, okay, Koshigarasu and full Bronto got hits, right? They're theoretically very, very strong in History Collection. So you might as well like hit them. I mean, but here's the problem. Again, it's back to timing. We have BCS in 3 weeks. People are going, okay, there's no way there's probably no ban list anymore, right? Because, you know, they announced the Weiss one a while back and they haven't talked about this at all. But now we have a BCS coming up and ban. Okay, ban list time, let's hit 4 Bronto. So we can't, people would be testing this. They'll be getting cards with this and suddenly it can't be used. What happens if also, right, they've been testing cards and they've been going, okay, maybe 4 Bronto isn't that good, right? Maybe it's just not that good. Maybe Kokushigarasu is not that good. Maybe the format is actually so different that it's like the Wild West right now that, you know, you don't need it here. Well, luckily enough, you have a September ban list coming that you can actually hit things that are in, you know, that are actually problematic. So, I don't know, right? At this point, it probably would have been better just not to release anything because, again, the formats can be like different. This is premium as well. Japan, although is starting to play premium soon in some of their tournaments. This is like premium is primarily, I think, an English format. That's just how it is. And I mean, if we're just going to copy and paste this again, at least copy and paste it sooner. Let's be real, right? You could have just done this very, like, at least 2 months ago, right? And this is like, to be fair, I feel like the amount of time between like the Japanese and English ban lists are just getting worse. Like, I think originally it was around like, you know, 1 week, 2 weeks. And then I think in just before Worlds, they had to do like an emergency one. They became like 3 weeks. This one, like I think the Weiss one was like 3 or 4 weeks. This is now 2 months. So it's like progressively getting worse. You know, it's just progressively getting worse. And like when people saw the Weiss Schwartz ban list back then, they said, you know, we'd rather like we know the time frame when a ban list is gonna come, right? Because we don't want to just sit there waiting for like a month and go, okay, you know, should I be testing this or not, right? So that's like whatever. I guess it's bad. I think it's just bad form. I think it's just bad form that, yeah, we just don't know, right? We just don't know what's happening. And then the last kind of hits we have is just the Pale Moon one. It's just, again, fixing an error from before, I think. And the Enterana one is actually good because Enterana is just a broken card. Straight into 1 is like kind of, okay, you know, if you draw it, like, yeah, you just pop off, but you can't, if you can never draw 2 or more, right? And just like hyper pop off. So I think this is at least, Enterana is the hit that we wanted. I know some people have been saying, you know, they should have hit Ghidorah. I can understand why people want things like Ghidorah to be hits because, you know, it's just an unfun card in general. And, you know, it's better, even though it might not be broken, having unfun cards kind of limits the growth of the game. I don't really, you know, have opinions either way, you know, if it's hit or not. But I can understand why, if it's like the gatekeeper of the format, you know, it negates stuff. It can be very oppressive for new players and keep players away from the game. But I'll leave that battle up to you guys. For me, one of the things I dislike the most is just this ban list coming out so late, doing so little to impact the game. It's just like the lack of care that is kind of shown in a way, right? Because if you're not sure, if you don't have the expertise in like the format, which is understandable, right? You know, good players spend a lot of time, you know, practicing and breaking formats. That's just normal, right? They'll probably practice it more than designers. They'll find interactions that designers will not see. So I think it's not wrong. I don't think it's like, there's nothing wrong with just asking like, you know, good players what they think of ban lists and what should be hits and actually doing something about them, right? Because, you know, if there's like approvals or anything that needs to be done, but and none of these ban lists can be like, you know, none of these suggestions can be acted upon, then what's the point of having separate ban lists, right? So like, for example, if you were to ask a good player what needs to be hit in standard, they 100% will just say, you know, does Dark States and Branking need to be hit? They'll just 100% say no, because they know the format is not here anymore, right? We're way past this, right? We're way past this format. So yeah, standard 100% probably needs no changes. In fact, we probably might need like, you know, a slight Gandivan nerf, right? Or, you know, a slight listed nerf. That would probably be more impactful for the format than just this, right? And then they look at the premium changes. They can easily just, you ask a good premium player, right? They'll probably just say, well, Koreans definitely doesn't need to get hit because this is this doesn't work. This doesn't work, right? So, like, that would have just saved you a lot, you know, and probably would have saved you a lot of time, right? You like the moment a ban list gets announced, you hit someone up, hey, we're thinking of banning these cards, or hitting these cards. What do you think? And they'll be like, no, you don't need these. And they go, okay, 100. Just progress to the next stage, right? Get those approvals or whatever you need to do, right? But if it's taking 2 months again, at this point, you probably should have just waited for the next ban list. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think. They need to kind of step up their game a bit with these ban lists, to be fair. Either they need to be impactful, like, they're either coming, like, I think ever since the previous few ban lists, something has been mentioned that all these ban lists are coming, like, at least 1 meta too late. And this comes down to why ban lists can't just be done through data alone, right? You have to have at least some people who have knowledge about the formats and the game and the impacts of certain cards into the format to actually help with the process. Because there is no point having a ban list coming in 1 month later when it's like not even useful anymore. It just means that it's late and it's just not good, right? It's just not good. What's the point, right? So that's my thoughts. I hope Bushiroad does step up at least their ban lists in the future, right? There should be one coming in September, which is very soon. And yeah, like right now, the ban lists really aren't doing what they're meant to do. Yeah, so that's it from me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you all later. All right. Bye.